Welcome to Bond SEX. This is Lance, the Bargain Stock Bounty Hunter, back at you again. Another great plays of the week. Got Dash joining me today, and this is the channel where X marks the spot to put you on the top. And I'm going to present week 4, January 23rd through January 27th. Disclaimer before I get started: I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I advising anyone to spend their money. This is only for educational purposes and only my opinion. Any money spent is at the individual's own discretion and not due to any information from me. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to look at the Nasdaq. So you see the very first one on the list this week is the Nasdaq, moving at a strong trend of a 6, definitely a little bit overpriced. So I'm going to dig into the Nasdaq a little bit before we get started and show you something that you may not see on any other channel, that no one else may not be opening up about. And so I'm going to look back in the history of the Nasdaq, going back to 1984. So I'm going to go way, way back. And so I'm going to look at so this green line here is the 180-day SMA is what I use as a trend line, right? So this is my trend line. It tells me the path of the market. And so what I want to look at is when the market breaks this trend line and goes into what we call bearish mode, how many times does it take before it goes back into bullish mode? Meaning, when will it cross back over the SMA and everything starts going back in the positive direction? So if we're looking at 2021, 2022, so far this year, we've had 3 attacks on the SMA. And these are when it's crossed over, the EMA's crossed over and tried to cross into the green and then failed. And so we've had 3 failed attacks on the SMA so far. And looking at this week, looks like we might have another potential attack, right? And so looks like it may be 4 attacks before we get back bullish. And so I've got 4 on here because I believe that's the magic number that it's going to take. And so we'll go back in history and we'll see where in the past have we seen very similar instances and how many times did it take to cross and go back bullish. So let's go back to, and I'm going kind of fast through here, but I'm scrolling back to the first year similar is here. This is, here's that. And I have just erased what year this was. This was 2008 through 2009. We see the same thing. 1, 2, 3 attacks here. So 3 attacks and the market went back bullish. So it was 3 going into 2008, 2009. So we've already had 3 attacks and we had a no-go, right? So it's going to have to be 4. We'll go back in history a little more and we'll see 2000 through 2002. So almost 2 years, we saw 4 attacks on the SMA, 1, 2, 3, and 4 before it went bullish. And what's familiar about this year, right? 2001 was right before 2001 was where 9/11 hit, right? So we just came, war was started, and we went on, and you see how much the market was impacted by that war. And what are we going through now? Another war. So that tells me you got 4 attacks back in 2000 through 2002. Looks like it may be 4 attacks again in this year from last year. Then we're going back to 1989. Very similar. Market was above, pulled back, 1, 2, 3 attacks before it went back bullish. See how strong bullish it went after the 3rd attack. That's 1989. We've got 1 more. 1984, we had 4 attacks on the SMA. So the market was strong bullish, fell below the SMA. 1, 2, 3, and 4 attacks. The market went back bullish not long after that, right? So that's what I want to show. When I show all that to say that I don't think we're far away from the market turning slightly bullish It may lay a little flat before it takes off and running, but I believe we're very close. So look at this week. Look at the Nasdaq. It has turned slightly bullish the last couple of weeks, and so we see Friday market turned up and it fell in right nicely to where I expect it to be by Friday, and definitely see an opportunity for this one to continue to climb. Again, this is the SMA right here, this green line. I've got the red showing the extension and the projection of the SMA. So very strong potential for this one to attack the SMA, maybe support potentially this week or next week. Maybe we may be off to the races. So we'll see. Like what I'm seeing in the MACD and the momentum chart below. So let's get into the New York Stock Exchange. And so I won't go that far into details on the New York Stock Exchange. But looking at the New York Stock Exchange, this one has actually been pretty bullish for actually a little while. Zoom out just slightly. And we see, other than the week going into Christmas holiday from early December to mid-December, this one has been bullish really going back to October. And so it looks like there may be a little bit of a resistance here. Again, this is my cake band, which is the stronghold of the stock. So this is really where the price wants to be. So that means the price is going to fall out of that range. So it's either going to fall above that range or down below. And so although the stock wants to be here, it doesn't want to stay here, right? So what we see here is this one might do a little bit of a pullback this week, and I expect this one to be somewhere around the 15,500 to around 15,712 by Friday. Definitely seeing some resistance here. I do see a little bit of a pullback on the momentum as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if this one jumps above temporarily and then pulls back. But definitely everything's open. Everything's still in bullish mode. We see the teal above the green, which is the 5-day EMA, above the red, which is the 8-day EMA, and the blue, which is the 13-day EMA. So everything's above, so it looks really good there. Let's get into the plays of the week. And first one on the list this week, trending at a strong 6. $1.35 overpriced, so it is overpriced right now, a true value of $15.94. So let's look at Upstart, and it's been a while since I've called out Upstart. I think, Daz, we called this one out. Ugh, how long ago was this one? Back in August. August, and looks like we called it out back in March. So this one's been beaten up pretty bad. So let's scan this one real quick. Let me pull my chart back in a little bit from 1D, 1 year, 1 day. And so a year ago today, we see that this one had a high of 161. And so we called it out not too long after that. Of course, the cake range was a little bit higher at this point. This is way above where you would typically want to trade or buy or invest. Called this one out back then. Did not do what we expected to do, but did turn around the next week. You see the following week and actually went above. And let's see here. Looks like within a few days from our price point, you could have got out at 12 days. So almost 2 weeks at about 19%. So since then, it has been on a deep dive. Been beaten up pretty bad. Saw a lot of manipulation coming in at earnings call back on May 9th. And we see just a deep devaluation of the stock. A little battling back here, and then kind of flatlined around the middle, towards the, I guess, tail end of the third quarter last year. And we see we called it out again. I called it out around 25.91. That's at 24.88. Zoom in a little bit. Can't really see. So we see this week it came down to my price point 3 times this week, actually 4 times. Didn't hold strong enough to pull up. We see on the next week it kind of flatlined and pretty much stayed flat for the rest of the year. So we see lately this one hit a low of $12. We see some manipulation come in around the last earnings call looking at 17 million shares, purchasing around the $16 range. And then we see the very next day, 12 million shares purchasing around the $21 range. And some of that is pretty much uncovered, looks like, from this point. And then we see within the last few weeks, we see some more manipulation around the $8 million range. A lot of trading coming in that day. So on those couple days. And so I think at 14.22 is a great price point to get into Upstart this week. I like what I'm seeing in the MACD and the momentum. I do see some uncovered manipulation here, slightly at 17.77 on a day of 6 million trades. But I do think an opportunity for it to come down to 14.22 is possible. Nice little progression line here. It actually is technically bullish. We like I said, we got a trend of a 6, which is, it's hard to see it being a trend of a 6 here, but going back a month from this date, there's been consistent highs week over week, and the lows have been consistently higher week over week. So that gives me a trend of a 6 on my spreadsheet. So we look at the green, red, and blue are all in order. So this technically is slightly bullish from a visual standpoint, but from my chart, it's strongly bullish. So I think by Friday, you can get out somewhere around 16.11 to possibly $20. So it's about 40%, 12 to 40%. So that's a big range, but a lot of opportunity with this one this week, I think. So 14.22 is where I'm going this week. That's what your call out for Upstart this week.
Yeah, so for me, kind of cheating again. I got 15.36, which I think you got a chance to get back in this week.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more comfortable at 13.31.
13.31. Man, you undershoot me bad. 13.31. I thought I was going low, trying to hit the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think 15.36. Like if you get in it and you're willing to hold it for the long term, I think you'll be okay. Because
15.36 is what you said. That'll be about right in here. Okay, that'll be support on the red 8-day EMA. Okay, let's see that. Is that what you were looking at? Support on the 8-day EMA?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Next on the list, going down to Asana, a little bit longer term trade, I believe here, longer term play. Trend of a 4, 15 cents overpriced, coming at a true value of $13.44. So barely overpriced. I think we can get in much cheaper in this week. And so looking at the charts, let's see Asana. So Asana's one. I think how long ago we called this one out before. I know I've traded this one. I don't know if I've called this one. Yeah, here we go, right here. So called Asana out back in around July, and we see hand on my price point. Looks like Tuesday, Wednesday fell below Thursday, and then looks like the next week it came back above to true value, and then we see within a few more weeks it took off pretty nicely. So this is one that can definitely surprise you. It has definitely been beat up pretty much since October, November, on a slight downtrend. Hasn't been very profitable either over the last couple quarters, I would say. And but I do like this one with what I'm seeing with, looks like, let's see, I believe this one is going into divergence or in convergence. Let's see. Yes. So this one is definitely going into a convergence. So it's divergent here, and it looks like it just converged over right about here. So on the 11th. And so this one is trying to go bullish. We see it busts through the green EMA here, battle back, resistance on the red, and it busts through the red here. Now it's resistance on the blue. So we're anticipating another explosion through the blue EMA this week. So at 12:08, I think if there's a pullback in the market, potentially Monday or Tuesday, I think 12:08 is a great opportunity to get in. Potentially by Friday, I got it as long, but by Friday, potentially 1362 at 12%, 12 to 13%, or $15.21 at 26% by Friday. Again, this is another one that is getting pretty close to the EMA, right? So this is what we want to see. We want to capture and take an opportunity to get onto a stock as it goes from divergent to convergent, which it has just done, and catch the momentum swing up as it attacks the SMA. So great opportunity here at 1208. That's what your call out for Asana this week.
Right above you on that one, I got 1220. Just playing off support.
Pretty good. 1220. Okay. That's good. I mean, do you think honestly it'll come down that low this week?
You know what, Asana, I don't know. It's really, I don't really follow that one enough to say yeah or no to that.
From a technical side, though, do you think what you see on the charts, is there any opportunity for it really to come down that low?
This week, probably not.
You think it's going to take off this week? Pretty well. It's already at 13.
I'm bearish on this. I don't think it'll take off this week, but
okay.
I don't know if it'll hit 1220 or not. I think so though, because I think that's also where like most demand is at for that, especially on this daily chart.
Yeah. So I was looking at this uncovered manipulation to the upside here on 1198, somewhere around that range, 12 low 12s, covering this right here and then taking off. So that's kind of what I was looking at.
Yeah, I don't think we're too far off though.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that'll be what, about 10% decline from where it's at roughly?
Yeah, from where it's at now. Yeah. It's so let's say for example, in one day it moved almost 10% in one day. So yeah, the range here is about 8.5%. So yeah, it's 2 days in a row in a downtrend. It could definitely capitalize it at those prices. So okay. Sounds good. Any more thoughts on the Asana?
No, not for me.
All right, next on the list is Spirit Airlines. I called this one out last week, and this one looks good again this week. Trend over 2, so slight upward trend. 6 cents on sale, true value of $20.14. Let's go to the charts, and let's look at Spirit Airlines. And this is one that didn't come down in my price. It did come down to true value Thursday, Friday. It's still in bullish mode, but it does seem like there's some opportunity for this one to come down again. I'm going exactly at 1933, the same price that I wanted it at last week. I think possibly I can get in this week at 1933. If it can continue this trend down, it may support right here on the 13-day EMA and then continue to move up and try to come to this lower cake band again. I think this is the lower cake band. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah. So still a great opportunity. I think long term on a wave count, it's still at 0. So this one wants to go +1. So it wants to be higher than it was last month on the EMA. Again, this one's close to attacking the SMA again as well. So great opportunity here. I think anytime you get below this cake band with Spirit Airlines, I think it's a great opportunity to capitalize and hold. So that's my call out for Spirit this week is, again, 1933. I don't know if I've done that before, went back to back, same price points, but doing it this week. That's what your call out for Spirit Airlines this week.
Oh, had it on mute. Yeah, I'm staying on mine at 1687 as well. Like,
are you gonna say the same too?
Yeah,
That is the first time in history both had the exact same price point 2 weeks in a row.
Really? I feel like thought I did that before too. Okay.
I don't think you did at the same time I've done it. I don't think
Oh
so.
yeah, together. Yeah, together. No, probably not.
Yeah, I don't think we've done that before.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Um, I think Spirit Airlines is probably like another Robin Hood for me. Just staying away.
So you wouldn't even buy this 1687? Oh, let's look at this. Let's see.
Nah, I wouldn't.
1687.
I
You're
wouldn't. I mean, if I
saying
had to, yeah, I wouldn't though.
1687. So you're saying if it comes down, looking at the pattern here, if it comes down to this point here, basically, you saying you would buy
I wouldn't fly it, so I wouldn't buy it.
it? All right. I'll take that. All right. Next on the list is SentinelOne. SentinelOne comes in at a trend of a 2. Another stock called out last week. 21 cents overpriced this week, coming in a true value of $14.17. Let's go to the charts and let's look at SentinelOne. So SentinelOne's, we've called this a couple times. I won't go through all the call outs because we just called this one out last week, and you can look back at previous videos if you want to see where we called it out before. But again, this one did not come down to my price point. It came down to true value multiple times last week, pretty much stayed at true value all week, pretty flat. Really resisted on this blue SMA, kind of supported on the, looks like the 8-day, 5-day EMA as well. Still think there's an opportunity for this to come down at 1307 again. That's where I'm going, exact same price as I did last week. And I think 1307 by Friday, anywhere between 1403, that's 6.6%, or 1518, which is about 15%. I think in this week, and I think long term can hold it a little longer, get way more out of this one. Definitely a lot of uncovered manipulation going all the way back to December 13th at about 5 million shares, trading on the downside to 1716. Down to 15 and a half. So great opportunity here. 1307 back to back. That's same price point. What's your call out for SentinelOne this week?
Yeah, for me, wait, is it on mute? Okay, no, it's off mute. No, I'm at 1352 this week.
1352.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, jumping up. You went from 13 last week to 1352. What was the what's your thoughts on that? Like what are you seeing?
Just a little support, a little bit of demand in that area too. I had to dig a little bit. I went to the 30-minute chart.
Okay. 1352. Okay. See some support. I see a lot of support here, 1352.
So really demand is 1315 to 1363.
Okay.
But I think I would probably look for like a short at like 15 at the last recent high at 1521 in the past 10 days.
Okay. Got a lot of opportunity with the MACD. I see the momentum's pulling back, but the MACD is still below the midpoint. And you see a lot of volume coming in Friday with 9 million shares on Friday. Quite a bit. So
At 9 point.
pick up a little steam. So yeah, I could, 1352 might be a optimal price point, man. Either one, 1307, 1352, anything below 14, I think you're good with this one, even for long term. So
Yeah, I think it was a lot of sellers though for the volume.
okay. Anything more on SentinelOne?
Yeah, that's just what I'm gonna watch. Probably wouldn't put any money to it.
Okay. All right. Next on the list this week is SM Energy. So I'm going all the way down. SM Energy is flat trend this week. 57 cents overpriced at true value of $32.68. Haven't called out SM Energy before, so give a quick 1 year, 1 day overview. And I did not do my homework on this one. First time I've ever forgot to do one. I've done all. So anyway, so SM Energy had a high of 54.97, low of 28.91, and I don't have my cake range showed on here, but I can tell you that this one definitely looks good, anywhere around the $33 and below to me. So I'm gonna do a live call out. Yes, never done this before, but so I'll say looking at it, like what I'm seeing in the MACD and the momentum chart, I would say looking at it's like it's showing support on the EMA. Looks like it might want to attack in the blue, showing maybe some support on the 8 as well. I would say price point for me, looking at the last manipulation point that hasn't been covered, I would go this week at 31.71 with SM Energy. So I'm gonna go live with that. 31.71 is my price point. SM Energy this week. I'll put that up here. So that's what's your call out for SM Energy this week?
For me, I got 29.80.
29.80. Okay. I can't believe I forgot that. This one I did that. Maybe.
I'm just playing close to support at the to his low.
Okay. Yeah, to me, I'm looking at only thing what I just looked at just now, like I'm doing it fresh without digging in a whole lot. Looking at the last manipulation point where hasn't been covered fully. Looks like to me it's around 31.71, possibly 31.50. If I can go down that far, 31.33, somewhere in that range. But 29.80, where's that at? That's around here. Okay, gotcha. Definitely a lot of upside potential here. Again, I don't have my cake band shown here, but we can see a lot of upside potential here, even going back to here. It's like in the 40s here. Got about 2 million shares. I don't know if that's quite manipulation. Looks like this one averages somewhere between 1.5 to 2 million anyway. So that may not be what I would call manipulation here. It's right at 2.2 million. So I'm not sure if that would be manipulation there. So probably have to go a little bit further back to find some uncovered manipulation on this one. So, but definitely a lot of upside potential here. We can see as this one comes down, bottoms out. I think what I was looking at here too, I believe this one was in convergence. Going down from here to here. No, it's already converged. But I do like what I'm seeing here with this underneath this one pointing up. Just paid dividends of 15 cents. Again, everything seems to be pointing up and attacking. Again, I like it short. I think getting to the blue. Think about Friday. I didn't give about Friday prediction here, but I think by Friday, definitely somewhere in the $34 range. I think by Friday at least. That's where I'm going this week with the SM Energy. So, yeah, man, that's all we got for this week. Any more thoughts on SM Energy?
No, not for me.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us this week. I appreciate everyone watching the videos. Please comment and again, please share and subscribe. Like and subscribe. And again, give us feedback where we can help and do better. I think we all can stand a little feedback from time to time. But I appreciate everyone joining, and continue watching our videos. And again, we're going to have more good information to come this year, and you can try to continue to get better and better. And good luck trading this week. Thank you.